This web page is built by using a single PHP file. The first page outputs records in the user's table, used elsewhere in this chapter. Radio buttons let me choose a record to update. This is the same document, now showing the contents of record 3, where I can modify them here. Bill is really William, and he now uses a Linux computer. And here is the third page, the same document, and it shows that record 3 has been updated. I'll choose to review, and back on the first page, you see the updated record appear here. One PHP document, 3 pages. I'll break it down for you one step at a time. First, the code configures parts used elsewhere. Include the database name. Set the PHP file name here for reference elsewhere in the forms. This step helps when updating and duplicating the code. Open the database. The first decision is made when the get superglobal is empty. Output the database's current contents. Select all the users, all rows, and then I use 3 HereDoc blocks to output the form. Remember, HereDocs can contain variables, which you see here. The second HereDoc is contained in a while loop. This loop fetches each row in the database, outputting it as a row in a table, complete with a radio button here. The final HereDoc finishes the table. The else portion handles the form submission, which hasn't yet been coded. I built this code in pieces, as shown here, to ensure that I get things right before overwhelming myself. The database is read and the table is properly formed. I'll choose an item and submit, and the new page is displayed, but it really doesn't do anything. You do see on the address bar that the data has been submitted. This update to the code fills in the else part, which displays the second page when the get superglobal has values. Specifically, the modified value is used here in the query string. Fetch the record from the database that matches the ID value. The database is queried with variable row containing the results. The data is packed into a form that's output here. The ID value is useful, so it's retained in a hidden field. I don't want users editing it, and it's required for the final page, which modifies the record. Here's the update just shown. I'm going to go ahead and choose a record and click Submit. And the second page of the form fills information from the database server and sets it into fields for modification. We'll give Bruce a Linux system and submit. The second page is redisplayed because the get superglobal has data. To show the final page, I need another variable in the form. It's set in a hidden field, added here at line 68. The name is change and the value is true. At the main else, I add a nested if-else structure. The first if, page 2, executes when the value of change is undefined. Otherwise, the else part executes upon final form submission when the hidden field's value is true. This query string is split among several lines as it's rather long. It resets the row value based on the ID field using the form-supplied text as replacements. The rest of the code updates the database, then outputs the final text, and it executes as shown earlier. Another way to modify a database is to delete records. This code does the job, the solution for this movie's challenge. Set a checkmark by each record you want to delete. Click Submit to delete the records, and review the results. Here is some PHP code to get you started. It outputs the form showing each record in the database. The else part here is what you must code. Right now it just outputs a header, but you must supply the PHP code that removes records requested. Here is the SQL command used to purge records. Delete from users, the table name, where ID equals, and then the ID number for the record to delete. Understand that the form can supply multiple ID numbers, so your code must concoct an effective way to process each one. output a line of text confirming each deletion. After trying this challenge, review my solution for notes and suggestions.